we don't edit, then it doesn't matter.
Who does editing?
I don't know, man. It's just like pulling the pin on a grenade and hoping it doesn't go off.
It's like who actually does an intro and does it correct.
Send it.
We did probably 100 episodes when you put them all together.
Oh, I think we did more than that.
We did a lot,
No,
and not one intro ever went right.
No.
So why should it?
No. Have you seen how a lot of podcasts now are their intro is like clips of like the funny clips of their show?
Yeah.
So it's like starts out with like a really funny that makes you want to like
We'd
listen
have
to
to
it
do
more.
something funny.
We'd have to edit.
So earlier we did a test run, by the way, and we heard about sticky, icky bubble gum.
Yeah, we should probably add that in like a Patreon. We're doing Patreon now. You have to pay us $5 a month, and you get our unedited stuff and pictures of our wieners.
No. We'd have to pay them. Well, it's been a long time and a long time coming. We tried to get this show back up and running, and then all hell broke loose as usual.
Always.
And that's probably going to happen again, but we're really going to try to stick to it. And format's going to be a little different than before. We're actually going to do shorter segments and put out more content.
Yeah, we're shorter, Rainbow. I think we should still do drinking buddies every now and then.
Yeah.
Have somebody get hammered with us. But the problem is we don't drink like we used to.
Speak for yourself.
I don't drink like I used to.
I can pull it up at any time.
I can do it, but I don't want to. It hurts.
Still doesn't bother me.
Oh, it hurts. I wake up in the morning feeling like I just got a train ran on me.
And how many times has that happened?
Every time.
Well, before we deep dive down into the ignorance as usual, I do actually have topics. And these topics, by the way, we kind of like try to imitate the whole last week tonight sort of thing, to where our take on it is we know nothing about any of these stories. I find topics that seem to be on the hot list. Frank doesn't even know the topic.
Nope, I don't know him.
So don't take any of this with anything other than a grain of salt, because we know nothing and we're just spitting off random nonsense. So if you talk to your friends and you use one of these as your reference,
Gosh, we weren't supposed to say that.
Already demonetized. We've been back on the air for
I said flame. You thought you heard that word, but I said we're flame retardant. We're wearing a anti-flame
now
spray.
that we're not live, I can edit that.
Okay.
I can go bloop bloop.
Yeah,
something stupid.
Because just so you know, because you're probably tuning in to the bloop bloop, and you just heard a bloop bloop, and you didn't know what I said.
I gotta bleep it twice now.
All right. So for real, if you come back and you heard a bloop bloop, you heard a couple sentences, and then you heard another bloop bloop, I said the R word, and you can't say the R word at least in the first 5 or so minutes, I think, on YouTube.
I don't think you say the R word at all.
You can't say the R word at all, huh?
No.
Things have changed.
We got kicked off for manga-noid.
Yeah. Yep.
That was you too.
You know what? It's working because we're self-censoring now.
Yeah, they've gotten even to us.
They've gotten us. We're now self-censoring. But you know, I did create a Rumble account for us.
Did you?
Yeah, I put all of our videos on Rumble. I uploaded them all, and I never went back to check on them.
We probably got 3 views.
I would be mad if we've got millions of dollars sitting there and they're just waiting for a bank account.
That, or they're just, they're waiting for us. Like there's a whole group of people like in Eastern Germany or something.
Yeah, I'm
the Russians liked us.
The Russians did like us, so now you know where we stand in the war.
I don't think we stand anywhere in the war. In fact, did you even hear anything about the war?
No, the war is just sending money to that short actor.
Oh, I saw he was over, giving a whole speech on everything. But so we'll go right into the politics section.
Let's go for it.
By the way, this is going to be the politics show. So I don't know if you heard, he came over and basically Biden did his upstanding thing and said, we're in this with Ukraine as long as it takes. Well, the question I have is what does it mean when you say as long as it takes? What is considered a win? Because he's not going to get all that land back. That's not going to happen.
No.
So what is the end goal? They've never set a goal.
Honestly, I think he dies before the war is over.
I think,
Biden.
I mean, he'll definitely lose his mind completely by then.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see this war ending anytime soon. As long as there's money to be sent over there, there's going to be a war. Well, the Donbass region, they've kind of like got that. Meaning Russia does, I'm pretty sure. And again, I don't know for sure. You may want to fact check this show. No, nothing. I just know you said that there's a region in the Ukraine called Dumbass, and I like it.
Okay. So the dumbass region.
Let's go.
Yeah. So the dumbass region is one of the regions they've gotten a hold of. Now, Crimea,
Yeah, I know that place.
from what I've heard, like that's all good.
Yeah, so it's still the Ukraine?
I don't know.
I don't even know either.
All I know is like, what's the end goal? Because Russia.
For who?
Well, Russia's not going to back off. And something I heard today that this is true is in Russia, as compared to the United States, in order to launch a nuclear weapon, it doesn't have to be a multiple series of events that have to happen, like keys turning, people agreeing, and everybody coming together. Like our president can't just go launch a nuke.
Yeah.
Which was
Thank God.
stupid about what they used to say about Trump, because Trump can't launch a nuke on his own.
No, and neither can.
But a general can in
Russia.
So get one disgruntled old general that knows he's going to probably get killed by his government anyways.
Yeah.
Send the nuke.
Pride to the motherland.
Yeah.
Boop.
While he's drunk off his rear end on potato vodka.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot more risky than... So, am I to understand this correctly? That's a child. So, am I to understand this correctly? Russia's pissed because they don't want Ukraine joining NATO, which makes sense because they don't want NATO at their back door.
Just like we didn't want Cuba to be at our back door.
Correct. Like, which makes complete sense. Like, I'm not saying I side with Russia, but I do side with Russia on that point, right? Like, you don't want your enemy at your back door, especially if they never were. And I mean, I think we're in agreement when we say that I don't want to see anybody die. Like, it stinks to hear that people are dying, especially innocent people. I mean, I don't quite care about soldiers too much, our soldiers, but I mean, they're fighting. I don't know if they can choose to fight or not, but they're fighting. So they're going to fight each other and they're probably going to die, even though most war now seems to be like drones and shit. I don't know what they do, but innocent people dying sucks. So we want that to end as quickly as possible. I don't even know where I was going with that.
I don't know where you were going.
Oh, no, the Ukraine's corrupt.
Well, yeah.
It's about, so what I'm getting at is it's like, we don't want to see people die. So we'd like it to be over. But all this is money for Ukraine. Am I missing something?
It's always been about money. It's been about money since Barack was in office.
Right. We've been washing money over there forever, right?
Well, when Hunter was first being looked into by the investigator over there, and Biden had him fired. I mean, that wasn't Zelensky. That was the guy before him. I forget his last name. So
yeah.
For some reason, Poroshenko's coming to mind.
Sure.
You're not the person.
Absolutely not.
But anyways, that guy basically fired him, and more has come out, which brings me actually to my first show note.
What's the first one?
The first show note is, how do we all feel about our bumbler in chief?
Oh, my God. I feel like we're 2 years late on this podcast.
I've never been anybody that falls upstairs more than downstairs.
But he says he did it on purpose.
He does it a lot then. You know what it is he tries to do this thing where he acts spry, right?
Yeah.
And he jumps and acts like he's going, and then he gets out of sorts.
Yeah.
If he would just walk his old ass normal, he'd be fine.
So did you see the last time he fell on stage?
Army or Navy thing?
Yeah, whatever that was. So he fell on stage. They zoomed in on his shoes. Like, he wears some shoes that are designed for people with like severe nerve damage.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Do you know that he would walk so much better if he wore like my grandfather's old Walmart shoes? What are they, like the original Reeboks?
No, he needs the New Balance, the old man New Balance.
The old man New Balance.
White socks.
Yeah. I like those. That's the same like I can rock. But you know what I'm talking about? The old Reeboks where it's basically like maybe two colors where they're all like, I mean, it's like navy blue and like the gray Reebok symbol.
He needs definite Velcro.
And the Velcro. And they just kind of shuffle their feet a little bit. If he had those shoes, he could shuffle his feet and be fine.
So going off that, obviously the bumbler in chief, you haven't heard most of what he said recently. He called Pete Buttigieg Pete Buttigieg.
Pete Buttigieg. But hasn't he called him Buttigieg a couple times?
He's done it a couple times.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he might be doing it on purpose.
He might.
Because it's definitely, he says booty juice.
Okay, so sit back for 1 second. If you were that old, and
he's not that old. Do you realize he's the same age as Harrison Ford?
Harrison Ford just made a new movie.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Actually, you know what's crazy? Have you seen Clint Eastwood lately?
He's looking a little rough.
But he's 93.
Did you see The Mule?
No.
So that's his newest, is the Mule. It's good, but he's definitely.
I mean, he's in it, I'm assuming.
Oh, he's the main character.
Okay. Well, I mean, that kind of stinks, but I heard he's been directing a lot, and everybody says like he's all, he's upbeat, he's moving. And I saw a couple pictures of him, like, yeah, he looks old, but he's 93 and he's directing movies.
I got to give Biden this.
Biden's not even 80, is he?
That cocaine keeps him moving. He does stay moving, and it keeps him licking and sniffing kids.
That's
the new thing.
Are we shifting gears to the cocaine in the White House yet?
We sure are. That's
what
number 2.
Hell is going on?
How? There's got to be one thing that America is in agreement on, and that is that everybody knows exactly whose cocaine.
100% we know whose cocaine it is. Janet said something. She sent me something like, have you heard that they found cocaine in the White House? I'm like, Hunter was just there.
Yeah.
We knew he was literally just there with the president.
Did you see the video?
No.
So there's a video, and it's too late now for me to try to pull that up, but there's a video basically of Hunter, and he's like doing the whole nose wipe thing, the typical cocaine nose thing.
Yeah.
And he's like, his head's just like, his eyes are all big and glassy. And then his mom looks back at him and like looks back forward, and you can see her hands on like the railing she's standing in front of him. She like squeezes it. She just starts going like this because she knows he's out of his mind. You know that in her mind she's like, Hunter, can you at least come to the White House sober?
Right. It's like the one thing we ask you to do. I mean, you laundered the money. You did a good job. You got some deals, some kickbacks for the big guy. Good job. Can you just show up sober?
How about that WhatsApp message?
I didn't see the WhatsApp message.
Where have you been?
Under a rock.
So in the investigation, they uncovered on his computer, they uncovered a WhatsApp message. By the way, the government has had this since the very first of getting this. Of course. So before he was even elected. And it was a hoax, which more has come out that they knew it wasn't a hoax since back then. They just covered for him.
See, okay, so it's kind of a side tangent. Was the election stolen?
Not in the way you're probably leading it to be, but yes, they did a survey of people that if they knew that the Hunter Biden laptop was real, they would have voted differently, and that amount of people would have.
That's what I'm getting at. It's like, I don't necessarily believe that, there was a thief in the night changing votes. I mean, sure, there was some shady shit probably going on, but I bet there's always some shady shit going on.
I figure there's probably 30,000 votes at all times that are probably fake.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I mean, there's proof that dead people voted. You know what I mean? So it's like, so we know that there's some kind of corruption. There's fake voting.
But
whatever.
Probably might be on both sides.
I think it's on both sides. So it might be a wash. But the fact that the media suppressed this information, all the Hunter Biden shit, it really all stems to Hunter Biden. Did you hear that they filed some sort of court injunction that his estranged daughter can never have his last name?
Yes.
I follow her on Instagram.
The stripper?
Yeah.
Is she still a stripper?
No, she's a conservative.
Well, yeah.
She's a freaking...
She literally got in bed with the devil.
She is a conservative. She's a conservative. She's dating a cowboy. I'm all for it.
Well, I mean, they can file whatever they want. That makes as much sense as saying you can't use your last name.
Yeah, you know that she was probably like, sure, pay me $5 million and my daughter will never use the Biden name. I doubt she probably never wants the daughter to use the Biden name.
That will after Hunter.
Yeah. Good Lord, you're Hunter Biden's daughter? Bruh.
Well, the WhatsApp message thing, I'm surprised you haven't heard about. So basically, there's a WhatsApp message that says, I'm sitting right next to my father. He says his father. And he's basically shaking down a company overseas with his father while he was in office, saying he's right there next to him. And I'm paraphrasing a lot.
That is crazy.
But if you look, but they're dead to rights. I mean, it is insanity, and that's actually, why in the world are we indicting Trump? Raiding his house.
Yep.
Here's the part they don't tell you. So when you raid Trump's house, Trump or any president for that matter that's still alive has Secret Service on.
Yeah. They have hired Secret Service for life.
So the Secret Service raided the Secret Service.
Right.
What was the need? There wasn't. There was already Secret Service.
Make a phone call.
They just wanted a show.
Yeah.
And so now the fact that even Pence, who had the same criminal, he did the same thing, And you got Biden throwing him in the back of his Corvette because he was probably high out of his mind that night.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yep.
And we're going to slow walk that.
It's 100% okay because it's not Trump.
Yeah.
And that's all it comes down to. And I don't even know where I stand, like on what's going, like future election. There's a lot. The Republican primary, I think, is going to be crazy.
It's going to go Trump.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, as much as I like DeSantis, I think he might be too much of a politician for me.
Well, we'll get to mine later.
All right.
There's some factors at play.
Okay.
But so my next one on this list, by the way, was Hunter's cocaine. We got to that.
Yeah, Hunter. But here, so have you seen the memes? The
I've seen
Hunter
a lot.
cocaine memes. They are so good. They're so good. I keep, no, I'm not going to make promises that we'll post memes. We're not going to post memes. Just look up Hunter Biden cocaine memes. They're great.
Listen, this show, we don't do the work for you. You do the work for yourself.
Yep. We've already discussed we're not editing this. So,
yep. So
Yes,
I'm going
it
to
is.
share the screen on this one so that we actually get this one pretty right. And we're going to share that one right there.
I wish we could turn this light off.
You're still showing up.
Well, because I got a freaking light beam in my face.
I still look normal. Anyways, so I'm going to Politico here, by the way, so you can see the actual deal what's going on. So Biden orders 3,000 reservists to be ready for European deployments.
For what?
Well, that's the thing. What are they not telling us?
Fighting in Ukraine.
Are we going to World War III?
Ugh.
And the next question is, are we going to World War III just to cover up your dirty deeds you did over there with your son?
I think so.
Yeah.
I honestly think so because World War III is not good. It's not good. There's too many Chinese.
I don't know what that has to do with any of it.
The Chinese are going to fight with the Russians. There's just too many of them.
The Chinese...
Yes, every Marine is probably going to have like a 1 to 200 ratio. So every Marine's going to kill 200 Chinamen.
Chinaman is not the proper nomenclature, dude.
They're Chinese men. It's just a faster way to say
now we
it.
gotta edit that out.
No, we're not going to edit that out. There's too many Chinese
the
men.
dude abides.
There's too many Chinese men, and I don't know how much they believe in the transgenderism. So I don't know how many women they're going to have fighting that war for them.
Well, anyways, I'm going to read this real quick. Although it is not clear whether Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin plans to actually deploy these reservists anytime soon, the move suggests that the U.S. military training mission in Europe, along with deployment of several new brigades after the invasion, has stretched active duty forces. Point is they're growing NATO at such a large rate and they're pushing it so fast. Everything's pointing towards a war.
I think so.
None of us want that.
But see, this is what's weird. At the same time that they're trying to get us into World War III, they're also trying to take our guns away here at home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this is literally giving power to the world police, right? We're creating the largest, uniformed world police in NATO that are going to come right back here and try to take us over.
I mean,
at some point, it's very possible.
It could be Red Dawn.
They could be Red Dawn. I'm not saying I'm not looking forward to it.
Gosh.
I'm not saying
that's
I'm not.
That's for a whole nother show.
I'm not saying I'm not. We can go back.
That's the idiocy show.
Yeah, we can talk. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah. Golly, I'm getting old. My eyebrows are thinning.
So the next one is supposedly the Democratic Party now, and I think it has to do a lot with this war thing, and they know he's dead to rights. Meaning the fact that they know he's guilty. We know he's guilty. Every diehard bleeding liberal that you know, at least in the back of their mind, knows that he's most likely guilty.
Which one?
Well, both of them.
Yeah.
We've already known Hillary's been guilty.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But the point is they're not going to run him again because the independents aren't going to.
Yeah, shouldn't Biden have already just, what do you call, when you give him clemency to his son? Pardon him. Shouldn't he just pardon him?
I mean, he basically did with that, what he got for his punishment.
Yeah, I'm going to preemptively pardon you for everything.
Yeah, just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
No, but the thing is, who are they going to run? Because obviously...
Gavin Newsom.
Well, I have a list in front of me here.
Right.
So anyways, the Democrats seem to be moving away, and this is from the Conversationist. Number one option is obviously Kamala Harris. She is the most odd, strangest person.
I don't think anybody wants her.
Did you hear her? No, of course you didn't, because you don't watch anything. So she did a thing, and again, I'm paraphrasing, but she was sitting down to talk about AI, and she goes, artificial intelligence, AI, which stands for artificial intelligence,
Jesus,
means that you can program like no one's ever heard what artificial intelligence is.
Well, she's the Messiah.
She is the worst ever, like period. And that's why Joe's sitting where he is right now, because they can't hand it over to her.
Breaking Titusville news. TPD is responding to a possible stabbing at the McDonald's on 50 near 95.
Well, that's always, keeps us in the news.
Yeah. Anyway, so back to Kamala. So I don't think she's right. Nobody wants her.
No,
I don't think the left wants her.
No, if they wanted her, she'd already be in there.
Sure. All it takes is not giving the old man his meds for a day.
Well, they could just use, what is it, the 24th Amendment?
Yeah, but not even. They don't even have to. They don't even have to. They just give him a little too much. That's what Hunter's cocaine was for. I bet Hunter's cocaine was there so that Joe would try it and get a heart attack.
Well, the next one on the list is funny. Stacey Abrams.
Woof.
Yeah.
What is this list?
It's who they are saying. The next one would have been all right if he didn't crash every train at his job.
Oh, yeah.
Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah, booty juice.
I think old Booty Juice.
Booty juice.
Amy Klobuchar.
I don't know who that is. I know. Maybe I do.
She is the first woman elected to represent Minnesota in the U.S. Senate. Amy Klobuchar has been on the national political stage since 2007 during confirmation hearings for Supreme Court Associate Justice Brett Kavanaugh.
On board.
She was the one that talked a whole bunch of junk during the trials.
Gotcha.
With Brett. The next one you do know, and I think he's the one that's going to run, is Gavin Newsom.
I feel like that's a good thing because I think outside of California, most people dislike him.
He's still polling in this single digits, they say.
He's good looking.
More liked than Biden.
Yeah, he's good looking. People like good looking.
He's an idiot. Here's one that I swear, if she wins and becomes the first female president of the United States, I mean, you could pick anybody. Roseanne Barr would be better.
Oh, I'd like Roseanne to be president. She's crazy.
Yes. But Elizabeth Warren.
Oh, God.
Pocahontas. No, thank you.
Can Native Americans even run for office?
Oh, my God. Of course. They'd be the first that should be able to run for office.
I don't know. I know they're not there. Well, I've been watching too much Yellowstone, the old Yellowstone. They're not even allowed to go to American schools.
By their tribe, but not because we don't allow them.
Oh, I thought we were not allowed to.
Oh, we can't go to their schools.
No, definitely not.
You can't. I can. I have enough Indian in me.
Yeah, but they can't go to American schools, right?
Yes. You can't live on an Indian reservation because you're Italian.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Against popular belief, Frank is Italian.
All I know from that show is the white man keeps putting those dudes down. Down.
Before we go down a rabbit hole of uncensoring and a lot of editing, the next person on the list is nobody. So out of that list, it's Gavin Newsom.
That's it?
Yeah. So they don't have any talent, man.
AOC?
She ain't going to win. She's too left for them.
Yeah.
And they aren't going to bring old Bernie out. Bernie's older than dirt.
Who was that one congresswoman that was sleeping with her brother?
Oh, that's
Osama bin something, right?
No, I'm forgetting, but yes, and I don't know if she was sleeping with him, but she was supposedly married to him to get over here.
Yeah,
so she can't be president. She's not American born.
Good.
But evidently, so either was Obama. So
very true. Well, Hawaii's part of America.
It is America. We're talking about Kenya.
I know, but he's from Hawaii, right?
His brother says he's from Kenya.
He's from Kenya or one of the islands, right?
His brother that does hate him.
Yeah,
says he's from Kenya.
Yeah, it's fine.
His father 1,000% is Kenyan, and if you look at his Harvard little thing, and when he was in Harvard in the yearbook, it says our exchange student from Kenya.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
So he just never went back.
I don't know.
That's genius. Hey, speaking of that, before I forget, and this is old news, but you remember in the World Baseball Classic?
I didn't watch it.
But you obviously know what it is.
Yes.
Did you hear about the Cuban team came to Miami and one guy never went back.
I wonder if they ever found him.
He's fine. You can come from. You don't get deported back to Cuba.
That's true.
He's a political refugee.
So he just defected.
He just defected. Genius. They paid for him to come over here.
They're never sending the team again.
Never again. That's what Barack Obama did.
Maybe.
I'm just not
I
going
don't think
back.
Kenya cares if you leave, though.
I don't. Yeah, but they don't keep track of you coming back. Apparently.
Well, his dad's still over there. Or no, he's dead now. I think. Yeah, he's dead.
I bet he never freaking came back. That's some shady shit.
Or he went over there when he was a young age and just used that to get a scholarship.
Maybe.
And he might have been born in Hawaii.
Who knows? Yeah, that's true. That's very true. His grandfather worked with Bush Sr. His grandfather was part of founding the CIA, if I'm not mistaken.
Which has taken its toll on the whole of America.
Which is crazy.
Well,
again, we don't know anything.
No, definitely not. So my last one is...
Did you change the display? Two. Are we too big? Weren't we smaller?
Oh, I kind of like that. My head looks huge.
They look pretty big. Takes up the whole screen, to be honest.
Yeah.
And recenter yourself.
I think it's there.
Yeah, there you go.
Now we're widescreen.
Yeah. Like that better.
Well,
feel more attractive.
So the next one, and what I was going to talk about earlier, and I have to say, I might switch to being a Democrat. Kennedy.
Oh, I like Kennedy.
I really like Kennedy.
He's anti-gun, though.
Yeah, but they're all, I don't care what they say. Trump got bum stocks banned and a whole bunch of other stuff. They're all anti-gun.
Yeah.
At least he just says it. And by the way, even if he got rid of guns, the fact that the Supreme Court's there, they would overrule it.
I don't know. I don't trust the Supreme Court all that much these days.
I trust Justice Roberts.
That's about all we got.
Yeah, Kavanaugh hasn't been anything. I mean, they should have been happy he's on there.
Yeah.
You know,
he just wants to stay right down the middle.
Yeah. I think he's trying so hard to be what they weren't trying to accuse him of.
Right.
So,
well, I hope the real him comes out if that shit happens, because that would be very unfortunate. As you sit there and play with 5.56 rounds.
We can't show this.
Probably not.
We'll definitely get pissed off. But the thing Kennedy said that won me over is he said...
Aliens?
No, not that. But he said that the thing that where the government went the most wrong and where things started going downhill is when they first lied to the American public. And the American public found out it was a lie. It was the first time Americans went, our government can lie to us.
Right.
And he said that his thing is he wants to restore honesty. And he said, whether you like what I'm doing or not, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing.
Well, I know he was talking a little bit about that on Rogan and mentioned that, I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but I know he wanted to make it so that they can't lie to us.
Yes. And he also wants to release Epstein's Island stuff. And
look, anyway. I'm not a Democrat. I will not vote Democrat, but I wouldn't be mad if he won. And here's why. He's going to tell the truth about his uncle. Because
Trump said that too, though. Something scared him off.
Really?
Yeah, when Trump was running for office, he said that he was going to release the Kennedy files.
He released some stuff.
But he didn't release even close to what he said he
was going to do. I don't think RFK cares. I think he might wait. On his way out, he might be like, oh, yeah, here's the video.
Yeah, but the CIA on the grassy knoll.
Right. So, I mean, that would be nice. I mean, he's not anti-vax. I'm glad that he was... he took his stance the way he did on Rogan. I'm self-censoring right now. But, I mean, I want to know about the aliens. I want to know about JFK. It would be nice. I think he even said he wanted to get rid of the CIA. He said something about that. Getting rid of the CIA or the FBI or something, or rebuilding. Oh, I think he said rebuilding it. The ground up. So I'm down for that. He might do all those things, get assassinated, and then we'll have a new president.
Live up to the family values.
Yeah.
They all die tragically.
It is crazy, man. But have you seen him? He's jacked.
Yeah. It's just his voice throws people off, and I know that that's a genetic thing or something.
It was some sort of a disease. Something happened, right? He had some sort of an issue. Again, that's not just the way he talks normally. I hate my own voice. I'd never vote for me just for that.
Sounds really gay.
I feel like it does.
You get a lot of Democratic.
Anyway, in my head, I'm like, I sound kind of manly. But when I hear myself, good God.
Yeah, that's the funny thing. Nobody sounds like what they think they sound like.
No, when I hear myself, thank God you didn't go to prison. You're going to be the bottom for sure.
I always think I sound like I got a mouthful of marbles.
You don't, though, but that's funny.
That's how I hear myself.
Yeah, that's funny.
Every time. That's how I feel like.
I always feel like I'm like, I feel like I should look like I'm like a beanpole in the corner.
God.
Like, I'm like, God, why do you sound like such a timid little bitch?
Oh, I totally forgot about two very important things.
What?
And these are good for your reaction. This is Frank's reaction. I wish we had a screen that went or something cool. Maybe I can add it. But anyways, so you heard about reparations for Black Americans. I did. Did you also hear that the amount of money is 3 times the GDP of California?
It's crazy.
So in other words, they want to give away in a year more than they make.
Yeah.
Total.
In a state that never had slaves.
Yeah.
California never had slaves.
And there hasn't been a slave. Well, there's no slave that's still alive and hasn't been for quite a while.
Yeah, I might be wrong in that, but I'm 90-something% sure that California never
was outlawed in the 1800s.
Yeah,
you'd have to be 140 years.
If
old.
anything, Asians should ask for reparations in California.
Yeah, that's my next one. So with the whole, let's see, I got it on here.
Oh, I might be ruining it, so I'll keep my mouth shut.
Well, what is it now? I didn't write it down. I just remembered it. So the whole thing in order to affirmative action.
Yeah.
So affirmative action being gone
that
mainly because the Chinese Americans were getting screwed.
Yeah. No. So you know that schools, I think it's Harvard now, is considering them white for scholarship purposes. Yes.
Well, that's who really was pushing this and was upset because
it's a slap in the face.
But I do think it's highly racist, the fact that it would be totally okay if the Chinese Americans weren't involved. It's like, when did Harvard, at what point do we want? I heard a comedian the other day, and it was funny. It's the one that was in The Animal, the one that's always with Adam Sandler.
Oh, Rob Schneider?
Yeah. So
yeah, I like
Schneider,
him.
Who is not white.
No.
He's Asian. So he was talking about.
What is he, Filipino?
I think so. But he was talking about, the whole, I guess the head of one of the airlines came out and said that they're going to primarily hire, people of color. And he's like, for my airline pilots, I've always said, man, I hate that white guy flying my plane landing safely. And again, I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
But it's like at that level.
I don't give a shit who's flying my plane as long as they are the best.
But at that level, I almost think like Harvard, for instance, there shouldn't even be a section that sets your color.
Yeah.
Like
grades.
They shouldn't be able to see you. All they see is your grades and what you're doing for your community. And that's what you get accepted on.
Make the grade requirements harder.
Until you get there. And if you have 100%, I don't know, Filipinos, then that's what you get.
Well, which is crazy because so many people can graduate with a 4.0 now that a 4.0 isn't enough. So now they need
Let's be honest,
with
honors. Today, we could both have 4.0s.
100%. I wish I could go back. If I could start over right now, it'd be ridiculous. I'd rule the world.
I think everybody would, though.
No. Only I can go back.
No, meaning anybody that could go back other than our really stupid friends.
Yeah. I'd go back and I'd bet on sports games.
Oh, like the Back to the Future.
Problem is my memory's so bad I'd be betting on the wrong games.
You'd be biffed for sure. You'd be like, did the Red Sox come back after 3 games being down, or was it the Yankees?
Speaking of which, not to get too sidetracked, but did you see that Yankee pitcher pitched a perfect game last week?
I didn't.
Perfect game. Do you know, or I'm not even going to ask, do you know, what do you think is harder to do or less likely to happen? A perfect game or one player hitting 4 home runs in the same game?
They're pretty equal.
Not even close. Not even close. I want to say that
Are we talking a perfect game, no walks, no hits, no errors, nothing?
Perfect. No walks, no hits, no errors, nobody on base.
Been less of those than 4 home run games.
They're opposite.
Really?
Opposite. So I forget what the number is, and this one I will look up for you, like between us. But I want to say, statistically speaking, it was like 1 in 2,700 games that there's a perfect game, maybe even less. It's 1 in like 4,500 games that a player hits 4 home runs in the same game.
I know Reggie Jackson did it.
Yep, I think somebody did it this year, and before then it had been like decades.
Well,
That's crazy though, right?
it's lightning in a bottle.
I want to say it might even be in the double-digit thousands. Like it was like 45,000 games or something like that.
I'm not so sure Nolan Ryan ever pitched a perfect game.
He didn't.
Okay.
He didn't. He didn't because he pitched hard. Really hard pitchers have a hard time pitching a perfect game because they're going to walk somebody.
Yeah.
They're going to walk somebody. But he had a lot of no-hitters. I don't remember. Did he have more than Sandy Koufax? I know that was a big deal with, like, that's who he was going after, was Sandy Koufax.
He's a strikeout king.
Yeah.
By a mile.
It's crazy. And you know
that played till he was 80. He was the Advil guy. But
the speed, the speed, the way they measured speed back then
was in back of the plate.
It was, and it was
glove.
Inaccurate, right?
Yes.
So they think that he might have had pitches based on today's radar to hit, like over 110.
108.
108?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's 108 to the front of the plate.
It's crazy.
But yeah. But I mean, to put that into perspective, what's his name? The one that was on the Yankees that can't throw he throws hard, but he doesn't throw very well.
Clemens?
No, it's like almost like a South African name.
South African name.
Big, huge guy.
Big, huge guy. Oh, like currently?
Yeah.
Or like recently? It's the closer, right?
Yeah, it's on Aroldis Chapman.
Aroldis Chapman.
Very English last name.
Yes.
Very not English first name.
Correct.
Yeah. So
it's like Nigerian, Ukrainian, English. I don't know why I said Ukrainian. He's Nigerian, United Kingdom, UK.
Yeah. Bangladeshi.
He's Bangladeshi.
But that back on
he pitches hard.
Yeah, but he's everywhere. He's
everywhere.
Like Wild Thing.
Everywhere.
He's like that guy that ended up being in the KKK for the Braves back in the early 2000s. I can't remember his name, but I remember he threw like 104.
Their closer.
And he was everywhere.
What the hell was his name?
And then they ended up kicking him out of the league because they found out he was in the KKK.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was just a little side tangent. So what do you have next?
So the last one is, and this one is absolutely insanity. They came out in California and said that basically African-American males in California shouldn't have to pay child support. If I was an African-American woman in California, I mean, you just lost all their votes. And obviously that was not right. There's plenty of women that have babies with African-American males. But the point is like, what are you going to, you're just going to do it for the African-American male that just doesn't want to.
Are they recruiting? Like, is that what it is?
You're not recruiting most people in that case, because think how many deadbeat dads there are out there.
Do they not think that there's that many African Americans in California?
I don't know what they're doing, because that affects basically every female.
Yeah.
I mean, and think about this. As an African-American male, you now go to the club, and these girls that are out being scandalous are like, oh, I'll never get paid if I sleep with that one.
Right. There goes every basketball player on the Lakers' chances. They're not getting laid at the strip club anymore. They're not, because they're not getting knocked up. They're not knocking up a stripper and paying child support.
Well, there are white guys on the Lakers.
They're not good.
Well, that wasn't a part of it. I don't think any of the really good players are going to the strip club. I doubt LeBron James is going to any strip club.
LeBron James is old as fuck now.
Yeah, but that, not to get off on that tangent, I don't think he was ever involved in anything.
No. I think he's pretty straightforward.
He kept it together the whole time, better than even Jordan did.
Oh yeah. Well, Jordan would have been a disaster in today's world with social media.
Yeah.
But anyway, that tangent aside, I don't think that's good. That's not good for the economy.
That's not good, period. That's giving just a free pass to just be a dirtbag.
They're really trying to when you drive into California, it might as well say California. George Floyd wouldn't have died here. That's what they're trying to say.
I don't know what that has to do with any of it, but I feel like that's good in points. So that's definitely going to be the show. I don't really know how to end this appropriately, so we're going to end it with this. Bye.